My family demanded that I buy a $300,000 house for my younger brother because he has a child. I refused. My father shouted, "Get out of here! You are no longer my son." 4 months later, they showed up at my door to apologize. But what they really planned left me in shock. I've always been the responsible one in the family, for as long as I can remember. My parents saw me as a pillar, the one who had to take care of everyone, especially my younger brother, Sergio. I'm Alan, 35 years old, a corporate lawyer at a prominent firm. I lead a stable life with a good salary, my own house, and decent savings. But it wasn't always like this. Everything I have, I built on my own without help from anyone, least of all my family. When Sergio and I were kids, we were very different. I was the one who did chores, got good grades, and helped around the house. Sergio, on the other hand, was a favorite. If he broke a glass, my parents called it an accident. If I forgot something, I was punished for being irresponsible. I always felt the weight of their expectations, while Sergio was pampered for no reason. He's the youngest. He needs more attention, my mother would say, and my father would nod as if it were a universal law. Still, I loved them. So when I started working as a lawyer, I decided to support them. Every month, I sent $2,000 so they could live comfortably. I covered their bills, their health insurance, and even bought them appliances when they needed them. I never asked for anything in return. I just wanted them to be okay. But over time, their demands grew. At first, it was small things. "Alan, we need a new car." "Alan, the fridge broke." Then everything changed when Sergio got divorced. Sergio, at 30, had a 5-year-old son, Gabriel. The divorce was a mess. His ex-wife got primary custody, but Sergio had regular visitation. Gabriel was born with a medical condition that required constant care, doctor visits, expensive medications, therapies. My parents became obsessed with protecting Gabriel, and that's when the trouble started. One day, my parents called me to their house. I arrived after a long day at the office, expecting a quiet dinner. Instead, they sat me down in the living room like it was a trial. My father, with a serious tone, spoke first. "Alan, your brother needs a house. A good one, at least $300,000. Gabriel can't grow up in a small apartment. You have the money, so buy it." I sat in silence, processing what I just heard. I looked at my mother, hoping she'd say something reasonable, but she just nodded. "It's what's best for Gabriel," she said. "You're the eldest. You have to take care of your brother." "Wait," I replied, trying to stay calm. "I work hard for my money. I help you every month, but $300,000 is insane. Sergio can work, get a loan, rent something. It's not my responsibility to buy him a house." Sergio, who was sitting in a corner, stood up furiously. "You've always been selfish, Alan. It's always about you and your career. Gabriel is sick, and you won't help your own nephew." I lost my patience. "I've paid your debts, Sergio. I gave you money for rent when you moved. I pay for Gabriel's medications when you can't. But this is too much." My father stood, his face red with anger. "Get out of here. You're no longer my son," he shouted, pointing at the door. My mother said nothing, just looked down. Sergio glared at me with contempt. I felt like I'd been stabbed. All the sleepless nights, all the sacrifices, all the money I gave them. It didn't matter. I left the house without a word, got in my car, and drove off with my heart racing and my eyes full of tears. I had given them so much, and now they treated me like a stranger. That night, I decided enough was enough. I cut off all contact. I stopped sending the $2,000 monthly payments. I ignored their calls. I wanted nothing to do with them. Days turned into weeks. I focused on my work, my friends, my life, but I won't lie, it hurt. I thought about Gabriel, his laugh, how we played together. I wondered if he was okay. But every time I considered calling them, I remember my father's words, "You're no longer my son." That kept me strong. 3 months later, I was at home watching TV when the doorbell rang. I looked out the window and saw my parents and Sergio standing at my door. My heart raced. For a moment, I thought they were there to apologize, to fix things. I opened the door cautiously. Alan, my mother said with teary eyes, "Can we talk?" "Sure," I replied, letting them in. We sat in the living room, and the air felt heavy. My father spoke first, his tone softer than the last time. "We were wrong, son. We shouldn't have said those things. You're part of this family, and we need you." I looked at Sergio, who seemed uncomfortable. "I'm sorry, Alan," he muttered. "I was desperate. Gabriel needs stability." I nodded, waiting to feel relief. I wanted to believe them, but something felt off. "What do you want from me now?" I asked bluntly. My mother hesitated, then spoke. "Sergio can't afford a house, but maybe you could rent one for him and help with $1,000 a month for Gabriel. He's your nephew, Alan." I froze. It wasn't an apology. It was another demand. They had come to my house, pretending to be sorry, just to ask for more money. Fury built inside me. "No," I said firmly. "I've given enough. I'm not renting a house or giving you more money. Sergio, get a better job. Mom, Dad, you need to stop depending on me." My father stood, furious again. "You're ungrateful. After everything we've done for you, you treat us like this?" "What have you done for me?" I shouted, losing control. "I worked since I was 18. I paid for my studies, built my career alone. You never supported me, but you were always there to ask for more." The argument escalated. Sergio called me selfish. My mother cried, saying I was cruel. My father yelled that I was a disgrace to the family. I couldn't take it anymore. "Get out of my house," I said, pointing at the door. They didn't move, so I grabbed my phone and called the police. "I have people in my house who refuse to leave," I explained to the operator. Within minutes, 2 officers arrived. My parents and Sergio left, hurling insults at me. "You'll regret this, Alan," my father said as he walked away. That night, I couldn't sleep. I felt betrayed, but also free. I was done with their demands, their toxicity. But I didn't know the worst was yet to come. The following days were strange. The silence from my family was deafening. They didn't call or text. Part of me wanted to believe they'd understood my point, that maybe they'd reflect. But another part, the one that knew my family all too well, told me they wouldn't give up so easily. And I was right. A week later, I started noticing odd things. My Aunt Clara, with whom I'd always had a good relationship, sent me a cold message. "I didn't know you were like this, Alan." What a disappointment. At first, I didn't understand. I replied, asking what was wrong, but she didn't respond. Then my cousin Javier, who worked with me at the law firm, avoided me at the office. When I asked him what was going on, he muttered, "You know why, Alan?" I felt lost, like I was in a game where everyone knew the rules except me. I decided to investigate. I called my cousin Sophia, one of the few family members who had always been honest with me. At first, she hesitated, but she finally spoke. "Alan, your parents are saying horrible things about you. They say you abandoned them, that you don't care about Gabriel, that you're selfish and only think about money. They even told Grandma you refused to help Sergio when he needed it most." I was stunned. My own parents were spreading lies, painting me as the villain. "Sophia, you know that's not true," I said, my voice trembling. "I gave them everything for years. I paid their bills, Gabriel's medications, everything. But asking for a $300,000 house and then coming back for more? That's unfair." "I know, Alan," Sophie replied, "but they're telling it their way. The family is divided. Some think you're ungrateful. Others think your parents are exaggerating. I believe you, but I don't know how to stop this." I hung up furious. Not only had they betrayed me, but now they were trying to destroy my reputation. I felt cornered, but decided not to stoop to their level by fueling the drama with more fights. I focused on my work, my clients, my routine, but the tension lingered like a shadow that wouldn't go away. One day, while reviewing documents at the office, I got a call from an unknown number. "Hello, Alan, it's Carla," a familiar voice said. It was Sergio's ex-wife. We didn't talk much, but she had always been kind to me. I need to talk to you. It's about Gabriel and, well, your family. We agreed to meet at a cafe near my house. When I arrived, Carla was already there, looking worried. We sat, ordered coffee, and she got straight to the point. Alan, I don't know how to say this, but your parents and Sergio are planning something. I don't know exactly what, but I overheard Sergio on the phone. He said they'd make you pay for not helping them. They mentioned something about Gabriel, about blaming you for something. I don't like how it sounds. My heart raced. Blaming me for what, Carla? I've always taken care of Gabriel. I buy his medications, take him to the park when I can. What could they make up? I don't know, she admitted. But Sergio is desperate since the divorce. He hasn't found a stable job, and your parents are pressuring him to be a good father. They think you're the solution to all their problems. I'm worried they'll do something crazy. I thanked her for the warning and went home, my mind racing. What could they be planning? More rumors? Asking for more money? I tried not to panic, but the doubt stayed with me. Days passed and the tension grew. I received strange messages from distant relatives, odd looks from neighbors. It was like everyone was talking about me behind my back. One night, while cooking, the doorbell rang. I thought it was a delivery, but when I opened the door, there were my parents again. My mother's eyes were red, as if she'd been crying. My father looked uncomfortable, but not hostile. Alan, can we come in? My mother asked softly. We want to talk. I hesitated. The last time I let you in, it ended in shouting and police. But something in their expressions made me relent. Fine, I said, opening the door. We sat in the living room, the silence heavy. Alan, we were wrong. Quotidiana started my father. We said horrible things, and we're sorry. You're our son, and we love you. We shouldn't have pressured you like that. My mother nodded. We're worried about Gabriel, but it's not fair to put that burden on you. We want to fix things, be a family again. Their words sounded sincere. For a moment, I wanted to believe them, to have a family again, to not feel so alone. But Carla's warning echoed in my head. Do you really mean it? I asked, because last time you came to ask for more money. How do I know this is another trick? My father looked down. It's not a trick, Alan. We just want you back in our lives. I spoke calmly. I forgive you, but I can't go back to how things were. I helped you for years and only got demands and yelling in return. I need space. If you want a relationship, it has to be on my terms. They seemed to accept my response. They left with awkward hugs and promises to change. I stood at the door, watching them go, with a knot in my stomach. I wanted to trust them, but something fell off, and I was right. A few days later, I got a call from an official number. It was a social worker. Mr. Allen, we need to talk about a complaint. You've been accused of psychological abuse against your nephew, Gabriel, during a recent outing. This is serious. Can we schedule a meeting to discuss? I went cold. Psychological abuse? I remembered the last time I took Gabriel to the park. We played, ate ice cream, laughed. It was a perfect day. And now my family had made this up to get revenge, to try to take everything from me. I was furious, but also determined. If they want to play dirty, I had the tools to defend myself. Of course, I replied calmly. Schedule a meeting. I'll bring proof that this is false. I hung up, my heart pounding. I couldn't believe they'd gone this far, accusing me of harming Gabriel, the child I adored, just to hurt me. That night, I sat at my desk and started planning. I remembered every detail of the last outing with Gabriel. It was a month ago, a sunny Saturday. I picked him up at Sergio's house, took him to the park. We played on the swings and bought vanilla ice cream, his favorite. Gabriel laughed all day, hugged me, and said, Uncle Alan, you're the best. I even took photos and videos to send to Carla, so she could see her son was happy. Those images would now be my salvation. I searched my phone and computer, finding the photos, videos, even a digital receipt for the ice cream and a ticket for a carousel at the park. I also remembered a mother at the park who saw us playing and commented on how well we got along. I noted everything, dates, times, places. I called Carla, explaining the situation. She was as shocked as I was. "Alan, this is insane," she said. "Gabriel adores you. He's never said anything bad about you. I can talk to the social worker if needed. This has to be Sergio and your parents." "Thank you, Carla," I replied. "I'll need all the help I can get. I just want to protect Gabriel and clear my name." She promised to help, even saying she'd check Sergio's messages and calls for anything suspicious. I felt relieved to have someone on my side. The meeting with the social worker was scheduled for 3 days later. I spent every moment preparing, printing photos, organizing videos in a folder, writing a detailed timeline of the outing with Gabriel. I also contacted a colleague at the firm, an expert in family law, for advice. "Alan, this smells like a false accusation," he said. "If they have no solid evidence and you have proof you treated Gabriel well, this won't go far. But be careful. These accusations can damage your reputation if you don't handle them well." On the day of a meeting, I arrived at the social worker's office, a cold gray building, with my folder of evidence in hand. The social worker, a woman named Laura, greeted me with a neutral expression. "Mr. Allen, thank you for coming. We received a complaint from your parents and your brother, Sergio, alleging that you caused psychological harm to Gabriel during a recent outing. They say the child came back distressed, crying, and that you intimidated him." I took a deep breath, staying calm. "Laura, I respect your work, but that accusation is false. I adore my nephew, Gabriel. We had a normal outing, and I have proof to show it." I handed her the folder. "Here are photos and videos from that day. Gabriel was happy, laughing. There's a receipt for the ice cream we bought, a carousel ticket. You can even talk to his mother, Carla, who will confirm Gabriel never said anything negative about me." Laura reviewed the documents and watched the videos on my phone. Her expression shifted from neutral to thoughtful. "This looks consistent," she said. "But the complainants insist Gabriel. System. Gabriel felt bad afterward. They say you yelled at him and scared him." "That didn't happen," I replied firmly. "Can you talk to Gabriel? He'll tell the truth. And if I may, Carla, his mother, is willing to testify that there were never any issues. I believe this complaint is an attempt to retaliate against me because I refuse to meet my family's unreasonable financial demands." Laura took notes, promising to investigate further. "I'll speak with Gabriel and his mother," she said. "This is serious, and we need clarity. I'll contact you soon." I left the meeting exhausted, but hopeful. I knew the truth was on my side. 2 days later, Carla called me, almost out of breath. "Alan, I found something. Sergio sent messages to your parents saying that if they accuse you of something serious, you might cave and give them money to fix it. They said they wanted to pressure you to help them again. I have screenshots." "Carla, that's gold," I said. "Please send them to me." When I received the messages, I couldn't believe it. There it was in black and white. If Alan thinks he could lose his job or reputation, he'll give us the money for the house and Gabriel. My own family, plotting to destroy me for money. It hurt, but it also gave me strength. Now I had proof of their intent. I sent the messages to Laura along with a letter, explaining the context. How my parents and Sergio demanded a $300,000 house. How I cut contact after their insults. How they came back asking for more and now fabricated this accusation. A week later, Laura called me. "Mr. Allen, we've concluded the investigation. We spoke with Gabriel, and he said he had an amazing time with you. His mother confirmed there were no issues. The evidence you provided, along with the messages, shows this complaint was unfounded. There will be no charges or actions against you." I felt immense relief. "Thank you, Laura," I said. "I just want Gabriel to be okay." She assured me the child was safe and that they would monitor the situation with Sergio and my parents. I thought that was the end of it, but one night, days after the resolution, the doorbell rang. I opened the door, and there were my parents and Sergio, looking defeated. My mother spoke first, her voice breaking. "Alan, we're sorry. We were wrong. We were forced to do this. Sergio and Gabriel's situation put us in a desperate place. Please forgive us." My father nodded, eyes down. "We didn't want to go this far. Son, We just wanted the best for Gabriel. We love you. Forgive us. Come back to the family." Sergio muttered, "I was desperate, Alan. I didn't know what else to do. Forgive me." I looked at them, feeling a storm of emotions. I wanted to believe them, to have the family I never truly had. But their words felt empty. Force. I asked, incredulous. "No one forced you to invent an accusation to ruin my life, my career. I forgive you because I don't want to live with resentment, but I can't trust you. You've shown you're capable of anything, even destroying me for money. I don't want this in my life." My mother cried. My father tried to speak, but I raised my hand. "No, this ends here. I wish you the best, but I won't be part of this. Please leave." They stood in silence and finally left with their heads down. That night, I sat on my couch, reflecting on everything. I had won, but at what cost? I decided to cut ties for good. I wrote a brief letter. "I forgive you, but I can't trust you after this. You tried to ruin me. I want no contact. I wish you the best." I mailed it, blocked their numbers and social media accounts, and informed my extended family of the truth, sharing the evidence with those who would listen. The following months were tough but liberating. I grew closer to Carla and Gabriel, seeing him when I could, ensuring he was okay. I focused my energy on my work, my friends, and building a life free from the weight of their expectations. Sophia and other relatives supported me, and slowly the truth spread. Some still believed my parents' lies, but I no longer cared. I knew who I was and what I was worth. One night, watching the sunset from my balcony, I felt peace for the first time in a long while. My family had tried everything to control me, but they failed. I was free, and though the journey was painful, it was worth it. I decided that from now on, my life would be mine and mine alone.